Hey guys, how's it going? So today we made a quick trip out to my parents' garden to plant some bare root roses. We have 20 total. There are 10 At Last variety and 10 of the Senoritas, both of which we have in our garden already. And we got a hold of some bare root ones and I thought that my parents might enjoy having them around. Then I thought I would show you just a little peek at what's been going on in their vegetable garden area, because you all have seen it before and what it looked like prior to what it looks like now. And you'll probably see it once it's finished as well. Check this out, you guys. Mom's playing hooky from work this afternoon.
And you brought me a chai.
Yeah. Why not? It actually has been a very rainy day. We woke up to pouring rain. It stopped for a brief moment this morning and then it started to pour again, and now like the sun is coming through the clouds, but it looks like we might get a little more rain, and I know we're supposed to get a bunch of wind. So we're gonna try to fit this rose planting in, because when you get roses bare root, you need to get them in the ground right away. So we kind of have to like get out here no matter what the weather's like. There used to be a wood fence that matched this one right there. And there was a wood arbor, some iceberg roses that has all come out. You got to see it from the other side. A new rock wall. Are you so happy to be rid of those railroad ties?
Yes.
It was like was it a 2-layer?
2 layers, and they were all tipped and rotted, and they were here when we moved in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
been a lot of
overdue.
years.
It's 34 years.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah. We've been saving up for the project.
And oh my word, so there's the rock wall and the boxwood hedge to kind of carry on. You know, there's a lot of boxwoods in this garden, so kind of carrying on that interest. A new arbor. I like the arbor you found.
It looks like us.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
There are some Lady of Shalott roses planted on either side, so that beautiful apricot pink. And then this whole garden area, there were some raised beds like in triangle shapes and rectangles, but how old were those?
They were about 30 years, I think.
They were falling apart.
Big time.
Yeah.
Rotted.
And I think that you guys are going to be going for something taller.
Yeah.
Some taller raised beds, which honestly, Erin and I thought, you know, if we added one board to ours every year and, you know, added the compost.
I'm this age, Laura.
You're that age?
This age, right here.
How funny. So there's going to be a new configuration. In fact, Mom and I sketched it out. Do you still have that sketch?
I think I do.
Maybe we can show you that. We sketched it out and just like went through some ideas like we often do. What is she playing with? A dirt clod?
A dirt clod.
Those dirt clods are awful fun. So yes, what a nerd. Oh, and a huge branch off this apricot had to come down. Well, it didn't have to, but it was kind of in the way. Look at that. Dang. I don't even miss it.
Well, I don't either. But you know what? Dad is going to love that, because your dad is so tall that he had to duck most of his living here years to get underneath this, because once it would leaf out, the branches would get heavy, and we trimmed and trimmed and trimmed, but that actually needed to just come out. But that tree's about 50 years old.
Yeah. So this apricot was here when we moved in, as was the maple right here, and the locust, and that's pretty much it. Also, the other very exciting thing, see the deck right there? Right inside there, the double doors, that's our dining room, and it's fairly cozy. Tight. And when we all get together, there's 12 of us, and you know, four of us are kids, but you know, the kids are growing up, and so you kind of want, you know, it's a squeeze to get everybody in there. So they're actually having an addition. The deck is going to become interior space, and then there will be a new brick or flagstone patio put right off of the deck, so everything will kind of push out a little bit. So we'll probably be doing more projects in this space, some more planting, and maybe we can come help and, you know, that sort of thing. So I just wanted to show you where it's at now, because you've seen it prior to this. Now you've seen kind of an interim shot, and then you'll get to see it in the end.
And you know what?
What?
You should do a before shot of this little
Oh,
area.
yeah.
This is just such a mess where they've had to tear things out, and then an after shot.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
You guys have seen it here. Here's the before. Oh. What's gonna happen is that fence section is just leaning on the shed for right now, and the other part of the fence has been held up by T-posts for a number of years.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how farmers repair their fences.
That's true.
Yeah.
So the retaining wall, they're gonna build another rock retaining wall right here, and then they'll redo the fence properly, so it's sitting kind of right on top of the rock wall, or, you know, just set back from it. So it'll look very nice in this space.
And we get to smell the skunk.
Well, they can't smell it, but we can smell it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go grab the roses out of the back of the truck. They're not huge. In fact, when you get them, We've already soaked them in water. We soaked them for about an hour in a tub of water, and they don't have water on their roots right this second, but they got well hydrated, and then we're supposed to cut them back, the branches, after we plant them. Here they are. That is 10 at last roses right there. Isn't that unbelievable? And then these are the Senoritas. Just a real quick couple of details. Both of these roses are zone 5 through 9, highly disease resistant. Both of them do not require deadheading in order to keep blooming, which is amazing. I prefer to deadhead ours if I have time to do that, because I think they look cleaner. But you know, some varieties of things you have to deadhead them to encourage more blooms, but that's not the case with these. The at last roses grow about 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide is what the tag says. Here, mine get like between 3 and 4 feet tall and wide. They do really, really well. And then the Senoritas typically grow between 3 and 4 feet tall and wide. Both of them are in kind of that warm color family, like the warm orange. At last are kind of this just creamy peach color. They're so, so pretty and multi-petaled, fragrant. These Senoritas, their buds are kind of like a reddish orange, and then they open up to a very soft orange, and then they age out to a golden color. So since they're continually in bloom, you see all of those colors on the plant at really any given time during the growing season once, you know, they start to bloom. And they're gorgeous. They kind of look like a sunset sky, just pretty. We're gonna put 5 of the at last on this side and 5 on this side. Okay, so as I was digging the first hole, I started at it gently because Mom knew there was a water line in here somewhere. We just weren't sure exactly where. So I did find it, and thankfully didn't do anything to hurt it. So I got the shovel out instead and dug my hole, because this is still where we want this rose to be, right about here. So I just wanted to stop quick and just show you what the roses look like. There's the top, there's the bottom. When we bury it, we're going to be burying right up here to the bud union. So I've already put some Bio-tone Starter fertilizer in the hole. And you can dig your hole a little bit deeper or bigger if you want to. I'm just going to kind of curve the roots around a little bit. Should be fine. And then we're going to just take some of the soil that we dug out of the hole and start packing it in around the roots. And we're going to add a little bit of water as we go. Mom is assisting with the hose. Perfect, to let that soak in. That helps the water settle a bit. Look at that clean and tidy job right there. Okay, so you can see there's still like water in this soil. Our soil is so saturated right now that it's going to take a while to settle in. So we just have to watch it as you water it more. That soil may settle a bit more, and you may need to add a bit more compost or something around it. Let's see, a couple little broken branches there, but that looks good. So that's what we're going to do with the rest of these. All right, guys, we got the 10 at last in up here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I ran into a peony on the left side of the arbor there, so we moved it right here. My question for you is, how often do you pay heed to the spacing requirements?
Well, once in a while I do.
These are going to be a solid hedge They're gonna look awesome.
I want it to have some weight as a frame, and all of this grass is going to be removed with this, because the patio, the new patio is going to come out clear to here.
To the, almost to the maple, right?
Almost to the maple. We're going to leave it some room for the trunk.
Yeah.
But then it'll come out here, so all that little pathway that's coming through right there will actually hop onto the patio, but it'll also curve around here and go out.
So At Last will not be the only plant in this flower bed other than the boxwood. This will all be, this will all be flower bed. So we'll have shorter layers in front of that. I say we. So we'll have shorter layers. Funny. I think we're going to take a break from roses just for a second. We were going to try to find a spot for this right here. This is like it's a bicolor cypress? Cedar? It is a Snow Queen Lawson cypress. It grows 20 by 15.
Yeah. Not here though.
Maybe like
if we were on the
12,
west side of the state.
10 to 12.
Maybe, yeah.
But you can see it's got this yellow variegation on that kind of sagey blue-green. Really pretty. Guys, we got all 20 roses in and the cypress, and I think it's going to be so fun to watch what these do this summer, especially down here. I mean, you can hardly see the roses. There are actually 11. So there were 11 in the Senorita kind of bunch, and they start here. So kind of behind, this is a, hey mom, is this a tulip tree or a linden tree? I can't remember. That's a tulip tree. Tulip tree. Okay. So a tulip tree right here. And then we started the rows here, and then they kind of like zigzag almost in this area. And the last one is right here. And then 2 are even up kind of on the hill. It's going to be such a beautiful massive color right here. And you know, as we turn this way, we have showed you this area before as well. It used to be an orchard. Now they have had it cleared because the orchard trees were so old. They weren't very productive anymore. And orchards honestly can be a tremendous amount of work. I mean, not only the, spraying and pruning, but harvesting is a lot of work as well. And sometimes, you have years, especially when you have a garden center, when you're not here enough to get those kinds of things done. So this area is going to be developed sort of like we're doing the South Garden, just kind of willy-nilly, a little bit more ease about it, and there's not going to be any formality. There's a few trees planted so far. There is a little sitting area at the other end that has a few boxes around it, but all of this is going to be like natural plantings and things that my parents see that they just like and want to plant somewhere. And honestly, it's one of the very few spots in the garden that gets full sun at the moment. It doesn't look like it right now, but in the morning until, boy, I want to say good late part of the afternoon, it gets a good amount of sun. So the rose is here, and then this cypress right here. As I was walking down these stairs, I thought it would be so pretty right by this pole, because it gets 20 by 15, even though that's what the tag says. It probably won't get that tall. It'll probably top out though right in here, and then you won't see this pole. I mean, you almost don't even notice it now because of all the trees and stuff around it, unless you look up and notice like, oh, there's a great big pole there. But that will help further mask it, and it's super protected in this area, which cypress need in our climate. So sheltered from afternoon scorching sun and from the wind. You've got a big bank of elderberries right here to help protect it. So that one will be very fun to watch grow, but I love this space. You're down here in the orchard area, and if you come through here, there's a whole bunch of bulbs planted in here. You can look through, you can see the neighbor's pond down there. The sky is really pretty this afternoon. Look at that. What a picture. And you guys, that is it for today's video. It was just so fun to get out here and do a little bit of planting, give you guys an update on how the garden's looking and some of the changes that are happening. I think my mom was just so excited to be able to look forward to this season of being able to get back out here after her whole ankle debacle last year, because you know she broke her ankle in July, right in the middle of summer, and really was out for the rest of the season. And even though she's taking things more tender, she really is doing a good job avoiding the things that she should avoid. And she does physical therapy, like very diligent about that, but she'll be able to be out here a lot more and tackle a lot more things than she could do last year. So it's going to be a fun year. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll give you updates later on how these do, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.